Yes, people, welcome back to another video on the Big Steph channel, and I'm here to talk to you as to why these next two games for Arsenal going into the break are massive for our season. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below if you like the video. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's go. Let's get into it.
I'm really in my zone. All my niggas getting cheese like it's provolone. They ain't with us at the bottom, so they'll never know. Even through trial and error, gotta keep yourself composed. Feel like me, little bitch, I'm chasing all my dreams. I couldn't.
So, firstly, let's start with the Brentford game. The Brentford game, well, just touch on Brentford slightly before we get into too far. Brentford are 15th with one win in their last 5, scoring 11 and conceding 7, while Arsenal in their last 7 games have scored 31 goals and only conceded 3 goals, breaking the record as the only English team to score 5 or more goals in the last 3 in 3 straight away games. Arsenal have been on impeccable form as of late. And going into the break, this is why these two games matter. Now, firstly, the Brentford game at the weekend. This Brentford game at the weekend has the possibility to see Arsenal go top of the table for the first time since the Christmas period. And we know what happened during the Christmas period. We were top of the league. We went through a bad run of form. We went to Dubai, came back, and we've been purring ever since. We've been purring ever since. That one lost to Porto in the Champions League, but we've been purring ever since in the Premier League. So with these implications and possibilities to go top at least for a day, depending on what happens in the Man City Liverpool game on Sunday, we will see where Arsenal will sit in the Premier League. But I just think Arsenal need to get that stuff done because as of right now, they're carrying a fear factor. And if you have that momentum, and you have that energy, you have that belief, I think Arsenal can go from strength to strength. And I remember last season, or I can't remember, I think it was last season, and everyone was saying, I can't remember which pundit that said it specifically, but they were talking about why the Champions League and playing, they're basically talking about why playing game after game after game is such a crucial thing during this period of the season. Because that rhythm and that consistency and that energy, you want to keep rolling over into the game, into the next 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 game. Arsenal after the Porto game are going on a 3-week break. No, if Arsenal want to continue that momentum and want to continue carrying that fear factor, they're going to need to win these 2 games so that even during the break, they can have that energy simmering amongst the fans, amongst pundits, but to other teams as well. Think about it like this. Arsenal play Manchester City on March 31st. Going into that game, Arsenal are not only top of the league, but are also through to their first quarterfinal since the 2009-10 season. More on that in a few when I touch on the Champions League match. But just think about how important these implications are for Arsenal going in to the back end of this season after this break coming up. Arsenal need to pick up 3 points and make sure they get their job done and forget whatever happens on Sunday. Because if Arsenal keep winning their games and keep chugging along, I think Arsenal can win this Premier League title. But right now, it's not in our hands. Right now, what we need to do is get 3 points on Saturday and beat Brentford. But that Brentford game also carries massive implications into not only the Man City game, but the game in midweek against Porto, our last game before the break. Now, Porto, yes, that game against Porto, they nullified us. I think it was a pretty terrible game. It was a pretty stop-start game. And I think hopefully Arsenal learned from that. Because that game, Porto were more streetwise than us. They got the niggling fouls. They started the game. They kept Arsenal out of a rhythm. They compacted the midfield. They sat deep. They were a nasty team to play against. Not in terms of they were kicking and that. They were just a difficult opposition to play against. Arsenal couldn't play free flowing, liquid football like they like to do, and it nullified them and it worked really well for Porto's favor. What Arsenal need to do? Get on the front foot early, possibly score an early goal, and really get into this Porto side in midweek. But why that carries so much massive implications is, again, momentum and how you feel as a club. Mikel Arteta, barring Villarreal the semi-final, even that was a crushing semi-final loss in the Europa League. You look at Olympiacos, Europa League, round of 32. You look at Sporting, was that I think round of 16 last season? And when you see some of our shortcomings in the Europa League and in Europe, losing away to Porto, you kind of get like during that Porto game, I had a little bit of feeling like of Sporting last year. Not too much because I believe in this Arsenal side, but I did feel a sense of it. Even when talking to the guys down at the bar last week, it's kind of a weird feeling. But I'm still confident Arsenal can win, but Arsenal need to get on the front foot early. Like I said, 2 wins in these next 2 games, Arsenal could be on a high horse, a very high horse. I think they could propel them into. I think Arsenal can win the Champions League, but honestly, I do think the Premier League is something that we can more attainable. Even though the Champions League is more in our hands than the Premier League because we can win all our games, and if Liverpool or City win all their games, they'll go on to win it outright. But we'll see. I think it's more attainable to win the Premier League than win the Champions League this year, based on because there's a lot more teams in the competition that are that streetwise. So I don't know how Arsenal. Hopefully, Arsenal learn from that, but I hope we'll see when that time comes. But what I think right now, Arsenal just need to win these 2 games, continue that momentum, and carry that fear factor not only through the break, but when they come back from the break, because that game against Man City is crucial into what we do, and we need to be not only playing our best football, which we are doing right now, which I love to see. The fans are behind it. The fans are chanting, but right now we're in a period where everything is so good. I feel like any little fragment can offset it, and I don't want that to happen. So for Arsenal's sake and for the fans' sake, let's keep chugging on. Let's keep getting these wins. Let's keep scoring these goals, and let's keep looking solid in midfield and at the back. Um, and yeah, that's really what I had to say on the performances, because I know these next 2 games are going to be absolutely massive. More content coming soon. More interviews coming soon. You guys let me know down below if you want to see more interviews. Should I go to different clubs, bars? Should I interview them on their perspective, or should I just stick with Arsenal? What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to hear? Leave down below your questions as to ask the Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, Spurs fans, United fans, any fans I can find. Leave questions down below. I will answer your questions in the comments as well. So right now we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, guys, and we're pushing day by day for this goal. So like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Guys, tell me what do you think about my these next 2 games coming up for Arsenal. Tell me how do you feel going into these next 2 games? What are your expectations? Because I think Arsenal could get two good wins. 2 wins that stay our claim as to why we are not only capable of winning the Premier League, but also showing we mean intent and not just making up the numbers in the Champions League. And we're one of those elite teams in Europe this season, showing we can do that week in, week out. And Saturday, and I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know which one it is, these are going to be the games that really make our season going into this break. So yes, guys, leave all your comments down below, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.